You are watching the Famous Room channel. The Duggar homestead is a familiar sight to fans of the family's reality show. Jim, Bob and Michelle built the 7,000 square foot residence using the proceeds from their first TLC specials. 13 years and 3 kids later, the house has served as the setting for 2 reality shows and some very large family gatherings. Of course, these days about how the Duggar brood has moved into homes of their own. Some of them are just starting out, while some are already living the good life on some very enviable property. Then folks at In Touch recently took a look at all of the Duggar homes, and you might be surprised by how far some of the younger Duggars have come. Take a look. The compound. Every Counting On fan is familiar with the massive Tontitown property known as the Duggar compound. But these days, several of Jim, Bob and Michelle's kids have left the nest to establish homes of their own. The beginning. The Duggar story begins here, in this much more modest home in nearby Springdale, Arkansas. Not the kind of place in which you would want to raise 19 kids. A humble start. When the Duggars made their TV debut on Discovery Health, the network helped them with construction costs for their new home in Tontitown. Execs also filled up the family's pantry, something Jim, Bob and Michelle had difficulty doing in those days. The living room. The Duggars love the great outdoors, especially their big backyard, but when they're inside the compound, this sprawling living room, with its sky-high ceilings, serves as the site of more Counting On scenes than any other. The master bedroom. And this, as they used to say in MTV's Cribs, is where the magic happens. Jim, Bob and Michelle's bedroom has been the site of an awful lot of baby making. The master bath. And this is the bathroom off of Jim, Bob and Michelle's room. We're guessing this was roughly the size of the living room in their first house. The girls' room. One of the downsides of life in such a large family. Even in such a large house, there's very little privacy. The girls' room at the Duggar compound has often been shared by 4 sisters at one time. The boys' room. The boys' room was often equally crowded, but on the plus side, at least it had a trapdoor that led down to the playroom. The playroom. Yes, the boys were able to slide directly into a room devoted solely to kids' recreation. Pretty cool. Jenna's nook. No one has called the Duggar compound home longer than 30-year-old Jenna, and while she still doesn't have her own room, at least she's been given a nook for her various projects. Josh and family. The first Duggar child to leave the compound was Josh, but he's mostly off the grid these days. Hard times. Insiders have claimed that Josh and their 6 kids are living in a small utility shack on his parents' property, but that remains an unsubstantiated rumor. South of the border. After Josh left, it was Jill's turn. Her first long-term non-compound home was in El Salvador, where she and husband Derek Dillard worked as missionaries. Back to Arkansas. These days, Jill and Derek are living in much more spacious quarters. The couple built a home for themselves and their 2 sons in Lowell, Arkansas last year. Jessa and Ben. Jessa married Ben Sewald not long after her older sister left the nest. These days, the couple calls these cozy quarters their home. Jessa's living room. It may not be as big as the compound, but it's got plenty of space for Jessa, Ben and their 3 kids. Streets of Laredo. After starting their married life in a Houston apartment, Ginger Duggar and Jeremy Violo moved into this spacious home in Laredo, Texas. On the road again. These days, the couple has moved to Los Angeles along with their daughter, Felicity. Jeremy attends divinity school, and the Violos live in a free home provided by benefactors. It's a start. Joy, Anna and Austin had similarly inauspicious beginnings, starting their married life in a small trailer. Moving on up. These days, the couple has moved into a home not far from Jim, Bob and Michelle. Renovations to the place were mostly done by Austin. As you can see, it's still a work in progress. It happens fast. The Duggars are moving out and starting families so quickly these days it can be hard to keep up. Joseph and Kendra have already filled their new home with 2 kids of their own. Very fast. The same can be said of Josiah Duggar and Lawrence Swanson, who also purchased their home with the help of Jim Bob's house flipping business on his own. And then there's Jed, who's not yet married, but who recently moved into a house owned by Jim Bob because it's located in the district in which he hopes to win a seat in the Arkansas State House of Representatives. No place like home. But while they may be far-flung these days, the Duggars are always welcome back at the compound. The girls in the family designed this guest room, where the kids often lay their heads on their visits to Jim Bob and Michelle. More to come. There's no telling what's next for the Duggars, but you can bet it will involve expanding into even more property.